All right, everyone. I think it's a good time to get started. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but as people come in, there will be time to ask questions at the end. So don't worry, we'll allow time to be able to answer your questions and share more information. So again, thanks everyone for coming. I want to say hello to everyone and welcome you to the Cupertino Preschool Virtual Open House. My name is Mary Lou Mejia, and I am the Preschool Program Coordinator. I also want to share that the City of Cupertino is continuing to monitor the effects of COVID-19 and that the safety of our residents, all of our residents, remains our highest priority. The city is providing services in accordance with the order of the health officer of Santa Clara County and the state of California's blueprint for a safer economy. As we get closer to the beginning of this preschool year, we will maintain all lines of communication open and will adapt to new guidelines in order to create a smooth transition for you and your child into the preschool program. Okay. The mission of everything we do in the City of Cupertino's Parks and Recreation Department is to create a positive, healthy, and connected community. The Cupertino Preschool program was created in the 1980s with the goal of supporting children's social, emotional, behavioral, and physical development, all while fostering early learning and exploration. The teachers look forward to guiding your child through the various stages of preschool development, and the teachers also understand the importance of academics and play and implement both to create the ideal environment for your child. We have some of the most qualified, caring, and truly passionate preschool teachers. All combined, the 9 teachers that work with us have over 120 years of experience in our preschool program alone, which shows the commitment that they have for the Cupertino preschool community. A brief introduction of the preschool teachers and all staff is included on the website, which I will share the link to at the end of this presentation. Cupertino Preschool offers programs for ages 3 to 4, which is called Tiny Tots, and for ages 4 to 5, which is called Super Tots. Both classes are offered at 2 locations, which are the Quinlan Community Center and the Monte Vista Recreation Center. In the Tiny Tots program, class activities include a mix of music, learning the alphabet, finger plays, stories, circle time, and physical play. We encourage exploration and learn about our emotions and the world around us. Arts and crafts in a variety of forms are part of our daily activities, as well as outdoor play, which are both essential in the development of fine and gross motor skills. The Tiny Tots program meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Super Tots program for 4 to 5-year-olds will expand your child's development and provide enriching activities that will prepare them for kindergarten. Activities include handwriting, sequence of the days, counting, music, art, games, creative play, and outdoor play. We encourage independence through various activities and learn about our physical world, the weather, our food, and our environment. Every day, we use various art components to teach fine motor skills and creative thinking that are critical for kindergarten readiness. The Super Tots program meets on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is a sample of our typical class schedule, but timing does vary depending on the activity. On the left side is the Tiny Tots schedule, and on the right side is the Super Tots schedule. In both programs, children play with different materials. They hammer things into boards, they dress up in costumes, they play in sensory tables, they play outside on the playground with sand toys, balls, hula hoops, and more. Our school is a place where your child can feel safe and creates a structure where they can be confident and explore and learn every day. We encourage children to use their creativity and empower them to discover. Our teachers love getting to know each child individually and allow time for the students to explore and make their own choices during free play, both indoors and outdoors. Communication is important. We have year-round communication with parents via Shutterfly group created for every class. We also welcome scheduled parent-teacher conferences. We post information on the parent information board in each class. And at the beginning of each session, we share weekly themes that we will cover. There are 3 sessions in a preschool year: fall, winter, and spring. 24 spots are available per class, and the ratio for our program is 1 teacher to 8 students. For snack, Cupertino Preschool promotes a nutritional snack program. Parents are typically asked to sign up for 1 or 2 days each session to bring snack for the whole class. However, we will continue to implement COVID-19 preventative guidelines. Depending on the guidelines in August, we may ask parents to send snack for their child. We typically have holiday gatherings with parents. We have special guests in the classroom and field trips every session. We love doing this because it creates a sense of community and the opportunity for parents to meet each other. However, to minimize the exposure to the virus, we will pursue virtual group events, gatherings, or meetings involving families, and will promote social distancing if events are held in person. For now, we will avoid events that involve mixing more than 1 class. We will slowly go back to our typical program as guidelines change. Preschool tuition. So this is a breakdown of our preschool tuition. The yellow portion is for Tiny Tots and the blue portion for Super Tots. The preschool year begins on August 30th for Super Tots and August 31st for Tiny Tots. The program will run until June 2nd of 2022 for Tiny Tots and June 3rd of 2022 for Super Tots. The program follows the Cupertino Union School District holiday schedule, but we do not observe staff learning days. Preschool tuition is broken down into 3 sessions. Each session is about 12 weeks in length. Tuition for the first session, which begins in August, is due at time of registration. We do have payment plan options available. Anyone interested in a payment plan is welcome to contact the Recreation Office for further assistance. To be eligible to enroll, students must be toilet trained by the first day of class. Proof of age and immunization records are also required. Parents that are already enrolled have already been contacted with information about record drop-off. If you registered after May 12th, you will be contacted with new drop-off dates in June. Tiny Tots must turn 3 years old by September 1st of 2021, and Super Tots must turn 4 by September 1st of 2021. The September 1st cutoff date is consistent with the school district's deadline and will allow your child to be with children of the same age at the start of kindergarten. Cupertino Preschool believes in the importance of safety and doing our part to prevent the spread of the virus, as well as working with parents as a team to reinforce techniques at home. Listed here are the recommendations provided by the CDC for preschool and child care programs. We will adapt our program and meet guidelines set forth by the City of Cupertino and the CDC. Guidelines may be updated from now until August, but we will continue to monitor and acclimate accordingly. How can parents help at home? Reinforce safety and hygiene at home. The repetition will make it easier for your child to do the same in the classroom. Stay home if your child is feeling sick or showing symptoms, and let us know by phone or by email. Encourage children to cover their coughs and sneezes if they cannot use a tissue. Used tissues should be thrown away in the trash and hands should be washed immediately. Reinforce the rule that toys should not be put in their mouth. We welcome you to visit the Cupertino Preschool website at cupertino.org/preschool for more information and for a virtual tour of both of the facilities, which you will find at the bottom of the page. And now I want to take this time to thank you for coming and attending, and I want to open up the meeting for any questions you may have. Please submit your questions to the Q&A feature at the bottom of the Zoom app. And I'm gonna exit this slideshow. And I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, so I am looking here for questions in the Q&A section. You can also place your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I will try to catch it and we'll call on you to ask your question. One of the questions is, are there still openings for the Super Tots program in the fall? Yes, there is. The Monte Vista location still has openings for both Super Tots and Tiny Tots. The Quinlan location has openings for Tiny Tots, and I will increase the maximum to 24 on Monday. The maximum right now is at 20 because it started with 14. We built from there as guidelines change from the beginning of registration to now. And so now we're gonna take it to our max, which is 24, but it's never gonna go higher than 24 in order for us to maintain our 1-to-8 ratios. Do we have to live in the city of Cupertino? No, you do not. Our services are open for anyone and everyone. And so if you live outside of Cupertino, you can still enroll. You will be held to all of the same requirements. The fees are just going to be a little bit different for the non-residents versus the residents. And the residency is based on your zip code. Okay, all right. How many seats are available at the Quinlan Center? Like I said, right now there are 20 seats available for both classes for all of our locations, but it will increase to 24. Quinlan Center Super Tots is currently full at 20, but once I increase it to 24, there will be a couple of spots that will open up. And I work in Cupertino. Oops, where did it go? Does immunization card from India work? Immunization cards from other countries do work, but I do encourage you to schedule an appointment with your pediatric or a health provider and talk to them about transferring that information to their system. In the meantime, you can submit immunization records from another country, but be sure that they are legible, that the date is included, and that the doctor's signature or stamp is also there. What is the policy for refund if my child is not able to attend fall? Can we defer the admission to winter? You can, if you cannot attend for the fall session, you cannot defer your spot to begin in the winter. Your spot is held once you make payment, but if you withdraw from the program, then your spot is no longer open for you. We try to recruit and provide the spot for another person. So you can either remain enrolled in the program and then just not attend until you are able to. For example, if you are still on vacation or still out of the country visiting family, you can come back and start preschool whenever that date works for you, but you will need to be registered still. And if you wanted to withdraw, our refund policy states that we need at least a 30-day notice from the last day of class, from the last day of attendance. Do we have to send snack? No, we do not have to send snack, but it will all depend. So right now, based on the current guidelines, you would need to send snack for your child for every day that you attend class. But typically in our preschool program, what we do is we have the parents sign up for 1 or 2 days within the session to bring snack for the whole class. But the other days, they don't need to worry about it. So it's more of a community providing snack for the class. And we want to go back to that, but it will all depend on the guidelines that are in place in August. How does the 9 a.m. start time look like? Is there a window for drop-off? So the 9 a.m. start time, typically, if it was non-COVID, the facility will be open, the preschool door will be open. There is a sign-in table where you sign in and you drop off your child. The kids put their backpacks or their belongings aside, and then they're welcome into the classroom. And there is free play, and then they can check themselves into the class every day. Right now, because of COVID, it may look a little bit different. We may allow parents to create a line outside of the back door to the preschool room, in which we will sign you in, but you would need to submit a healthcare questionnaire. And then we would take the child into the class, but we would not allow the parents to enter into the classroom. So again, we are prepared to adjust accordingly and do whatever we can to make sure our program is safe. But because so much can change between now and August, we will see what happens. But I will be sure to keep you posted and share all of that information with you. We will have an orientation as well, in which we will actually talk about the process coming into the program. What is the size square feet of the Quinlan Community Center for 24 children? I just want to see if the size meets the space guidelines. So the size of the square footage, I don't know off the top of my head, but I want to say that it does. Otherwise, we wouldn't be increasing the numbers. More than 24 kids could fit in the classroom. We just keep it to a 24 because of our ratios. But I can definitely contact you, or you can send me an email and I can provide those specific numbers for you so that you can be sure that we're meeting those guidelines. What would be the timing for 3 years old? The class time is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a 3-year-old program, which we call Tiny Tots. Are parents allowed to participate or for volunteering opportunities during school hours? Unfortunately, right now, we wouldn't allow parents to participate in volunteering opportunities. During typical preschool in non-COVID, we would, during some field trips, ask for parent volunteers. But because of the current situation, that's just not something that we may be able to do this upcoming fall. From fall to winter to spring, the situation may change drastically. So I don't want to say that that's the way it's going to be for the full program length, but that's the way that it's looking like right now. Are photocopies of documentation acceptable or originals needed for drop-off? Photocopies, please. We don't need your originals. If by some chance you only have originals, do reach out to me. But photocopies are good so that way you can just drop it off and we keep it in our records. Are parents allowed to participate for volunteering opportunities during school hours? I believe I answered that a little bit earlier. No volunteering opportunities right now. Typically, we do have them for certain field trips, or we do allow them if a parent wants to discuss any thing relating to the themes that we're having on a certain week. We do typically allow that, but as of right now, we're not gonna be able to allow parent volunteer opportunities. One class has 8 students or 24. You mentioned 1-to-8 ratio. So the 1-to-8 ratio is 1 teacher per 8 students. So 8 students is the max that can be per teacher. We will always have either better ratios than that, but we will never go past them. So there is 24 students in the class with 2 teachers and 1 aide is the ideal classroom size that we will have. And that adds up to a 1-to-8 ratio. Want to see if I missed any questions here. Okay, some questions in the chat. I'll go ahead and answer those. My son turns 4 in June 2021. Should we enroll him in Tiny Tots or Super Tots? I would enroll him in Super Tots program. But if you feel like he would be more benefited by enrolling in Tiny Tots and then extending the next year to Super Tots, then that would be okay too. But based on his age, I would encourage you to sign up for the Super Tots program. I work in Cupertino, but live in Sunnyvale. Am I eligible to enroll my child? Yes, you are, whether you live in Cupertino or not. We take, anyone is welcome. So we take all registrations. The only difference will be the resident rate versus the non-resident rate. Great questions. Okay, Elizabeth has a question. I'm gonna go ahead and allow you to go ahead and ask your question, Elizabeth. You can unmute yourself on the bottom of.
Hi.
Hi.
Is there a minimum number of enrollments? Like if there are not enough kids enroll, will the class not happen?
Yes, that's actually a good question. We do have minimums, unfortunately, because that's just what we need in order to cover the costs of preschool. And so our minimums are, our bottom line minimums are 13, but ideally we would like to run at least with a class size of 16.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. That was a great question. Okay, I think, let me see here. I think that's all the questions unless I'm missing. Oh, okay. Okay. I answered your question, Elizabeth. I am a Cupertino resident, but when I try to register my child through the Cupertino website, I do not appear to be getting the resident discount. How can I fix this? You can fix it by contacting the registration office directly. The phone number for the registration office, and I will put it on the chat here, is 408-777-3120. That's the number to the registration office. They will need to, once you put your child's information, address, birthdays in the system and create an account, you can no longer change it. You will need to contact the recreation office to make those changes for you. So that's their, thank you. Perfect. But they should be able to help you quickly and easily so you can be able to register. What is the refund policy in case it won't be possible to attend the entire session? So the refund policy is flexible and simple. We just need 30-day notice before the last day of class in order for us to have enough time to, if we have wait lists, to pull from the wait list, to provide them the orientation and welcome another student in the classroom. So we just need a 30-day notice prior to the last day of class. If it's less than a 30-day notice, there is a 10% processing fee that gets charged from that refund. And if it's if it's after April 1st of 2022 of next year, in which you request a refund, by then is so incredibly close to the end of the preschool year that we no longer allow refunds at that point. And the refund policy can be available to you through the Cupertino website at cupertino.org/preschool. All of the information is available in the parent handbook as well. Okay, so let me double check other questions. Great questions. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for asking all these great questions, and I hope I was able to provide you with enough information to help you make your decision, and I was able to provide parents currently enrolled with information and expectations for the fall session as well. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. My email address, I will put it on the chat. It's Mary Lou M for Mejia at Cupertino.org. And my phone number, direct line, is 408-777-3124. Again, do not hesitate to give me a call or send me an email, and or call the front office, which if they cannot answer a question relating to preschool, they will direct you to me. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and connected. Have a great evening.